In Germany, tax incentives plan for foreign skilled workers. Portugal plans to reintroduce tax breaks for foreign residents. Britain's BNO visa. In Germany, tax incentives plan for foreign skilled workers. Portugal plans to reintroduce tax breaks for foreign residents. Britain's BNO visa scheme for Hong Kongers unlikely to change under Labour, analysts say. France beat Portugal in penalty shootout to advance to Euro 2024 semi-finals. For Spain versus Germany, Spain wins in extra time, advances to semi-finals. Canada wins penalty shootout against Venezuela, faces rematch with Argentina in Copa America semi-final. Biden makes another blunder, says he will beat Donald Trump again in 2020, as Biden is at peace if he loses to Trump, says as long as I gave it my all, and Biden says only the Lord Almighty could make him drop out in pivotal TV interview. Biden says is able to counter Putin, contain China. Keir Starmer names new cabinet, with Reeves as Chancellor and Rayner as Deputy PM, and Starmer kills off Rwanda plan on first day as PM. Reportedly, Labour's David Lammy aims for UK foreign policy reset. Rachel Reeves becomes first female Chancellor, as PM. Starmer appoints cabinet. Sinn Féin largest Northern Ireland party in UK Parliament for first time. Rare shark that lives for 500 years could hold secret to increasing human lifespan. Kansas top court bolsters a state right to abortion, and strikes down 2 anti-abortion laws. City of Edmonton stops funding drug overdose prevention pilot downtown. Reformist Pezeshkian wins Iran's presidential runoff election, besting hardliner Jalali. Jeremy Corbyn re-elected in Islington North after expulsion from Labour. Former Taiwan vice premier under investigation on suspicion of bribery. Cost of Sentinel ICBM swells again to $214 million a missile. Reportedly, Russia has forced the West to ramp up production of older weapons, even gear it wasn't making anymore. China's latest stealth fighter jet, J-31B, ready for military service, CCTV video post suggests. Newsom says, Trump wants to take us back to a pre-1960s world. Trump denies knowing about Project 2025, his allies' sweeping plan to transform the U.S. government, as Donald Trump claims Republicans' Project 2025 has nothing to do with him. Abysmal. Italian Premier Meloni rebukes the youth wing of her far-right party for glorifying fascism. Trump wants secret records case paused after immunity ruling, and former Trump staffer alleges campaign settled seedy suits in bombshell filing. SBF's family controlled $100 million in political donations. Far-right, including France's National Rally, use AI to support political messaging, reports say. NATO has 2 to 3 years to prepare for reconstituted Russian army, top Norwegian general says. UK's Labour Party to continue supporting Ukraine in war against Russia and on its way to NATO, as Marine Le Pen promises French far-right will rein in aid to Ukraine, slams soccer star Mbappé, as Le Pen says Mbappé should not lecture French voters. NATO's Stoltenberg rules out Ukraine land for peace deal. U.S. and Republic of Korea concerned, DPRK may send troops to Ukraine. Putin Kim have reportedly discussed possibility, and Ukrainian partisans blow up Russian railroad track, used to transport ammo from North Korea. Hungary's Viktor Orbán makes surprise visit to Moscow, angering other EU leaders, and reportedly, Hungarian PM leaves Moscow before rainstorm. Borrell says Orbán doesn't represent EU in Russia. Orbán calls it Brusselian nonsense. Spain's Vox and Dutch Freedom Party join Orbán's Patriots for Europe. Reportedly, millions of Malaysians dip into retirement savings to make ends meet. As inflation soars, Myanmar shop owners are jailed for raising wages. Canadian unemployment rate rises to 6.4%, with student summer jobs especially hard to come by. India will fail to plug jobs gap, even with 7% growth, Citi says. Netflix, Disney and Paramount are fighting Canada's new streaming tax. Apple OK's Epic Games marketplace app in Europe. Grand Theft Auto 5 Trevor DLC scrapped as GTA Online was such a cash cow, developer says. Ticketmaster hack group claims access to millions of Taylor Swift tickets. Russia forces Apple to remove VPN apps from the App Store. Global Times comments as European leaders, businesses oppose European Commission's tariff hike on Chinese EVs. EU slaps Chinese electric cars with tariffs of up to 38%. BYD's steep EV discounting in Thailand sparks backlash. PM seeks assurances. Accord's 19% plunge can't stop Honda's rise by 12% this year. Underground network smuggles NVIDIA's AI GPUs into China despite U.S. sanctions. Some smugglers even sell entire servers. Silicon Valley steps up screening on Chinese employees to counter espionage. OpenAI's internal AI details stolen in 2023 breach, NYT reports. YouTube's updated eraser tool removes copyrighted music without impacting other audio. Antitrust lawsuit threatens Apple's lucrative deal with Google. Microsoft will pay $14 million to settle allegations it discriminated against employees who took leave. Samsung quietly launches 61.44 terabytes SSD, talks about a 122.88 terabytes model, and Samsung expects more than 1,400% profit jump in Q2 on demand for AI chips. No leap seconds added to Universal Time in 2024, IRS says. A developer somehow got an entire OS running on Google Drive. Boeing crisis as more than 100 whistleblowers contact FAA. JP Morgan warns customers, prepare to pay for checking accounts. FTC warns Gigabyte, Oshrock, and Zotac about warranty stickers. Russia conducts mobile nuclear missile launcher drills after tactical exercises with Belarus. Italy to order 24 additional Eurofighter Typhoon fighters. Taiwanese fishing crew interrogated for allegedly operating in Japan's waters. NVIDIA gets rare downgrade on valuation concerns after rally. Rating agency S&P sends debt warning to U.S., France and other top economies. Musk suggests late Twitter disclosure was a mistake, seeks to end lawsuit. Bitcoin set for worst week in nearly a year on Mt. Gox liquidation fears, as Mt. Gox begins repaying Bitcoin to creditors a decade after exchanges collapse. German MP urges government to halt BTC sales, in lieu of need for strategic reserve. Iran's role in October 7th attack will be proven beyond doubt. ADL says recently Iran's Khamenei says region needed the October 7th attack, and Palestinian presidency hits back at remarks by Iran's Khamenei on October 7th attack. Hamas accepts U.S. proposal on talks over Israeli hostages, Hamas source says, and Hamas clears the way for a possible ceasefire, after dropping key demand, officials say. Montreal police remove protesters from pro-Palestinian encampment at Victoria Square. Reuters reports Philippines turn down U.S. help amid South China Sea tensions, says military chief, and China anchors monster ship in South China Sea, Philippine Coast Guard says. Japan calls Chinese buoy in its southern continental shelf regrettable, and U.S. sending dozens of new fighter jets to Japan bases in $10 billion force modernization. SCMP comments as, China treads complex path between North and South Korea as nuclear risk rises. Putin says discuss principles of Europe's future security architecture with Orban, and from Orban to Putin we do not feel safe, we see the images of war and destruction, as Russia and Hungary continue cooperating on basis of pragmatism, announced Putin. Serbia vows unwavering Russian support despite Western pressure, says Deputy PM. Armenia, U.S. to hold joint military drills on July 15 to 24. U.S. postpones military drills with Georgia due to strained relations. Vatican excommunicates a former ambassador to the U.S. and declares him guilty of schism. Hamas says it rejects any statements about foreign forces entering Gaza. Turkey's Erdogan hopeful on Gaza ceasefire, says West must pressure Israel, Haberturk reports. Hamas briefs Hezbollah on proposal for ceasefire. Hezbollah welcomes step, sources say. Putin unlikely to congratulate Starmer on election win, announces Kremlin. Putin congratulates Pezeshkian on his election as Iranian president. Donald Trump congratulates right-wing pal Nigel Farage on UK election win, but ignores new Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Rishi Sunak resigns as Tory leader as well as PM after election defeat. Business leaders, pro-democracy activists send letter asking Biden to withdraw, as a $14 billion Walmart heir joins Novogratz urging Biden exit. President Biden fights critics calling for him to drop out, asserts he's most qualified to beat Trump in high-stakes ABC News interview. New units of Pak's nuclear plant to provide Hungary with clean energy, announces Putin 2 years ago. Hungary moves ahead with construction of Russian-built nuclear reactors. BASF, Aramet dropped $2.6 billion Indonesian nickel project that threatens isolated tribe. Vehicle with radioactive material packaging is stolen in Sao Paulo, warns National Nuclear Energy Commission, and part of stolen radioactive material is found open in the east zone of Sao Paulo. Erdogan proposes summit with Putin. Assad to address Syria's domestic situation. Kyrgyzstan's intelligence services thwart attempted coup. Slovak PM Fico makes first public appearance since assassination attempt. Cardi B sued by producers claiming Enough Miami infringed on their Reservation Dogs song. Justin Bieber enthralls guests at Mukesh Ambani's son's pre-wedding bash in India. Marlon Wayans updates fans after home invasion, says he had nothing valuable to rob. OVCloud hit with record 840 million PPS DDoS attack using MikroTik routers. With RockU 2024, 10 billion passwords leaked in the largest compilation of all time. Bootloader malware still active, deploys new versions for enhanced attacks. Chinese crews drill under Xinjiang Glacier for super long highway tunnel. Milan Airport to be renamed Silvio Berlusconi Airport. In Germany, number of road fatalities increases by 1.8% compared to the previous year to 2839. Compared to 2010, 17.1% more people killed on bicycles and 35.2% fewer people killed in car accidents. 28 Hong Kong students attain perfect score in IB exams, amid time zone cheating controversy. In the U.S., 11-year-old sets 2 Long Island houses on fire in 4th of July mishap. Adult who provided fireworks arrested. Also 2 killed and 3 injured in July 4th attack in California Beach City. China's AI competition deepens as since time. Alibaba claim progress at AI show. Too many AI models in China. Baidu CEO warns of wasted resources, lack of applications. AI industry needs to earn $600 billion per year to pay for massive hardware spend. Fears of an AI bubble intensify. In wake of Sequoia report. Storm barrel spares Mexico's Yucatan beaches, takes aim at Texas. Mount Everest's highest camp is littered with frozen garbage, and cleanup is likely to take years. Starling's migratory behavior found to be inherited, not learned. University of Queensland research finds whales were less stressed during early COVID pandemic. Hippos might fly. UK research discovers animal can get airborne. Evidence shows ancient Saudi Arabia had complex and thriving communities, not struggling people in a barren land. Human degradation of tropical moist forests is greater than previously estimated. Earth's core has slowed so much it's moving backward, scientists confirm. Bitcoin slides on Biden drama. Risk of sales linked to MT Gox. As in cryptocurrency market crash, $90 billion erased from global crypto market cap within hours. Biden's odds of dropping out surged to almost 80% on Polymarket after New York Times report. New York Times reported that Biden tells allies he knows he has only days to salvage candidacy. Philippines demands China pay $1 million over South China Sea clash in June. And President Marcos tells Philippine military to ease sea spat with China. Taiwan says China military drone spotted near remote island airport. And Taiwan urges release of boat caught fishing illegally in Chinese waters. China opens mega cross-sea passage with bridges, artificial islands and underground tunnel. As China claims 10 world records for new bridge and tunnel sea crossing. With 39 tanks, HIMARS ammunition, Germany secretly hands over huge arms shipment to Ukraine. Russia twice sent attack submarines towards Irish Sea. Black Sea mine hunting operation begins. Italy wants to order more than 550 tanks from Rheinmetall. Democratic governors vow to stand with Biden after shaky debate performance. Recently, Biden to hold crisis meeting with Democratic governors at the White House. White House denies report that Biden is considering dropping out, as Biden says he screwed up debate but vows to stay in election. Fauci says he has no doubt Biden is capable of continuing as president. Final Fantasy's Hironobu Sakaguchi has no interest in returning to the series he created. Spin Master reveals first toys and collectibles for PlayStation Studios games from Sony Interactive Entertainment. Nintendo has no plans to use Gen AI in games, instead delivering value that cannot be created through technology alone. High housing costs has 2 in 5 recent immigrants saying they may leave province or Canada. And Ottawa considering buying hotels to house growing number of asylum seekers. Japan faces shortage of almost 1 million foreign workers in 2040, think tank says. Korea aims to attract 150,000 professionals from abroad by 2035. Hudson's Bay Company to purchase U.S. department store Neiman Marcus reports. In the U.S., judge delays ban on non-compete agreements for small number of employers. Pakistan stocks downgraded to frontier market by FTSE Russell. Spotify removes Russian artists who support Ukraine war. Rapper BG ordered to have all future songs approved by U.S. government. In Germany, Turkish players' right-wing Wolf goal celebration sparks furor, and Turkey summons German envoy in row over Demirel's nationalist gesture. Turkey's Mary Demirel facing ban over Wolf celebration and win over Austria. In the U.S., Lincoln's best-selling vehicle is a Chinese import. Voice of America comments as reports of visa checks deportations worry Chinese STEM students in U.S. Nearly a week ago, Nextshark reported that U.S. to restrict Chinese students in STEM fields. U.S. deports 116 Chinese migrants in first large flight in 5 years. Belarus officially joins SCO, becomes its 10th member state. Russia considers Armenia its ally, Deputy PM Overchuk says. Turkey's Erdogan offers to help end Russia and Ukraine war. Kremlin rules him out as intermediary. Financial Times comments as, market forces are not enough to halt climate change. Bloomberg comments as China's investment bankers join the Communist Party as morale and paychecks shrink. Netflix is starting to phase out its cheapest ad-free plan. Internet Archive creates searchable MTV News database after Paramount deletes entire site. Diddy is reportedly trying to sell his LA mansion that was raided by federal agents for $70 million. ChatGPT macOS app spotted storing conversations in plain text. OpenAI reportedly rolls out update. Hackers abused API to verify millions of Authy MFA phone numbers. And Twilio warns Authy users of imminent social engineering attacks after hackers got hold of phone numbers. Infostealer logs reveal identities of 3,300 consumers of child abuse material. Google blames AI as its emissions grow instead of heading to net zero. Proton debuts privacy-focused alternative to Google Docs and Microsoft Word that rejects AI assistance. AI trains on kids' photos even when parents use strict privacy settings. DJI further diversifies from drones with the Avinox e-Spike drive system. Sony won't phase out Blu-ray movie and game discs, only ceasing production on consumer BDR. BTS member Jin expected to take part in Paris Olympics as a torchbearer from South Korea. Threads hits 175 million users after a year. Indian Twitter rival Coup shuts down after failed acquisition talks. Helldivers 2 loses 90% of its PC player base in just 5 months. Tenerife to combat traffic chaos with island-wide train network. Political deepfakes remain legal in Louisiana. Governor Landry has First Amendment concerns. Russia-based disinformation network linked to fake story about Zelensky's Bugatti purchase. BBC says. Detroit paying $300,000 to man wrongly accused of theft, making changes to facial technology usage. Cloudflare debuts one-click nuke of web scraping AI. Brazil blocks Meta from using social media posts to train AI. In Indonesia, Kominfo's Aptica Director General resigns after national data center hack, and hackers offer surprise apology after ransomware attack on Indonesian government data centers. The Hill comments as bribes, assassination and pardons. Immunity ruling leaves questions on unchecked presidential power. Giuliani is disbarred in New York as court finds he repeatedly lied about Trump's 2020 election loss. Project 2025 head says, Second American Revolution will be bloodless if the left allows. Welsh government commits to making lying in politics illegal. Count Bin Face, Elmo and AI Steve. The UK election's unusual candidates. Starmer says UK won't rejoin EU trade bloc in his lifetime, and UK to vote in parliamentary elections, expected to end to Conservative rule, as Keir Starmer's Labour Party tipped for historic election win as UK voters go to the polls. US judge blocks Biden rule adding gender identity protections to healthcare. Japan's top court rules force sterilization law unconstitutional. Millions of OnlyFans paywalls make it hard to detect child sex abuse, cops say. Raids find luxury handbags being made by exploited workers in Italy. In Spain, Glovo founder faces 6 months to 6 years in prison for undermining workers' rights. 18 months ago, Spain's delivery platform Glovo fined again for breaching labor laws. Mulls closing off duty exemption for cheap goods that help shine Temu AliExpress. FAA clears takeoff for Las Vegas Desert Airport. Space tourism hub to launch soon. India seeks to join planetary mission ahead of Apophis asteroid passing close to Earth. New models suggest Milky Way is not as packed with stars as previously thought. Eigenlayer competitor Symbiotic crosses $1 billion in deposits in under a month. DWF Labs launches $20 million fund to support Web3 projects in Chinese-speaking regions. Revolut CEO confident on UK bank license approval, as fintech firm hits record $545 million profit, and Revolut planning to offer mortgages in Ireland from next year. Nancy Pelosi disclosed stock market trades made by her husband. He loaded up on AI plays like Nvidia and sold Tesla. SoftBank lost 99% when the dot-com bubble burst, now it's all in on AI. Cryptocurrency investors are more likely to self-report dark tetrad personality traits, study shows. Filipinos can now use Tether's USDT on TON blockchain for social security payments. Russian regulator encourages use of crypto to counter sanctions. Ahead of the UK election, major parties remain silent on crypto issues. Polkadot defends $37 million splurge on influencers and private jet logos. All the networks have similar spending. India-based crypto exchange CoinDCX acquires Dubai's BitOasis. U.S. judge sets stage for NFT securities trial as DraftKings lawsuit moves forward. Number of Russian asylum seekers in Korea soars to nearly 9,000 since start of war in Ukraine. Russian exports to U.S. climbed to $438.7 million in May 2024. In Brazil, Lula launches 400.59 billion Brazilian reals harvest plan for corporate agriculture. Biden told Netanyahu the night of Iran attacks, "You retaliate and you're on your own." Israel studying Hamas response to Gaza ceasefire proposal, says Mossad, and Hamas leader holds talks with representatives of Egypt, Qatar and Turkey, as Hamas exchanges ideas with intermediaries on ceasefire in Gaza. Italy seizes Chinese-made military drones destined for Libya. Israel announces largest appropriation of state land in West Bank since Oslo Accords. Some Israeli hostages have attempted suicide, Islamic Jihad armed wing says. Southeast Asian militant group Jamaat Islamiyah to be disbanded, say its senior leaders. Ukraine not ready to compromise with Russia, says Zelensky aide. Trump discusses possibility of ceding part of Ukraine to Putin, claimed Politico, and from Zelensky to Trump, "If you have a plan to end the war, tell us now." Russia must leave Ukraine. U.S. rejects Orban's ceasefire proposal. RFK Jr. denies eating a dog while sidestepping sexual assault allegations in Vanity Fair article. High ceilings linked to poorer exam results for university students. Japan declares victory in effort to end government use of floppy disks. Satellite images show expansion of suspected Chinese spy bases in Cuba. Several Chinese nationals killed in DR Congo gold mine attacks. China begins smartphone inspections as part of espionage law. Russia cheers Marine Le Pen's national rally in French election. French left and centrist parties unite to block far-right national rally. Renowned Nazi hunter in France advises Jews to choose far-right over far-left in elections. In France, Jean-Marie Le Pen declared unfit to stand trial over misuse of EU funds. In the U.S., survivors of Tulsa race massacre call on Biden to open investigation into 1921 attack. 3 weeks ago, Oklahoma Supreme Court dismisses lawsuit brought by survivors of Tulsa race massacre. In Brazil, military pensions will cost 856 billion Brazilian reals in the coming decades, 60% of the value for retired civil servants. Donald Trump claims Biden is quitting election and calls Vice President Kamala Harris pathetic. Netflix co-founder Reed Hastings is one of the first Democratic megadonors to call for Biden to step aside. Joe Biden sit down with George Stephanopoulos, moves to Friday primetime as pressure on president on the U.S. increases from debate debacle. Tucker Carlson announces interview with Zelensky, and Zelensky's spokesperson denies claim of upcoming interview with pro-Russian Tucker Carlson. Poland's Law and Justice says no to Orban's Patriots, and stays with Meloni's group in EU Parliament. Scholz promises Germany won't be party in Ukraine war, and Germany will never support ceasefire that entails Ukraine's surrender, says Scholz. Global police operation shuts down 600 cybercrime servers linked to Cobalt strike. Israeli entities targeted by cyber attack using donut and sliver frameworks. 384,000 sites pull code from sketchy code library, recently bought by Chinese firm. Microsoft MS-HTML flaw exploited to deliver Merck's spyware tool. Fake bootloader malware spreads widely through drive-by download attacks. South Korean ERP vendor's server hacked to spread store malware. Chinese Premier Li Chong calls for nations to bridge intelligence gap in AI. China science body lists digital humans and optical chips among key challenges. U.S. awards $504 million for tech hubs in overlooked regions. Air pollution killed more than 33,000 Indians a year from 2008 to 2019, claims Lancet study. To save spotted owls, U.S. officials plan to kill hundreds of thousands of another owl species. Nearly 500 people hospitalized in Japan after taking red yeast supplements. Hurricane Beryl hammers Jamaica on path to Cayman's, Mexico. Russia swelters in heat wave. Moscow breaks 1917 record for early July. Study reveals ancient Nile floods were highly variable during wetter climates. Fisker seeks judges' approval to sell Ocean EVs at $14,000 per SUV. GM will pay $146 million in penalties because 5.9 million older vehicles emit excess carbon dioxide. Former Boeing inspector alleges scrap parts ended up on assembly lines. Fossils show huge salamander-like predator with sharp fangs existed before the dinosaurs. World's oldest cave art found showing humans and pig. Human crying stresses out dogs more than pigs. Finds study of family pets. Chinese scientists find the gene that protects people in southern China, Southeast Asia against obesity. New mRNA technology turns cells into long-lasting drug factories. In the U.S., FDA to ban BVO, additive found in some fruity sodas and sports drinks. Newsweek reports that Joe Biden might be asked by 25 House Democrats to step down, where the Telegraph comments as Michelle Obama the only Biden alternative who would beat Trump. New York Times reported, Biden tells